Hi Aquarius, here is a general look at your solar chart for November 2012, and this month you'll probably be more conscious of where you're going from here, or where you would like to go from here, and how it could be affected by the conditions around you, contracts, agreements, people, actions, decisions you're taking right now. And you'll be more aware of, like, maybe short-term aims or longer-term ambitions, or even the master plan, and having to do more with authority-type figures, those in a position to put their power behind you, maybe, and you're keener to package something in the right way and to make the right impression in certain quarters. And it may mean that some of you are dealing with or having more contact with officialdom, and you could actually get quite frustrated with the restrictions imposed by rules or red tape. That's more likely after the 17th, but of course it can happen at any time to any of us. And some of you will have more contact at this time with parents, parental figures, guardians, bosses, and others who are important to your aims and ambitions over the short or long term, and of course your guides and your higher guidance, who are on tap all the time and 24/7. This is also perhaps a time for some of you to show a firm direction and take decisions and show authority, as others may be relying on you in some way, or you know, there's expectations there. There's a bar to clear there, and certain standards to keep up. So that sort of gives a general feel of it. The solar eclipse on the 13th opens the way to change and improvements in this area over several months to come. Now, this solar eclipse is going to be in Scorpio, along with Saturn being in Scorpio now as well, and will come at a very dynamic angle to your sun sign. So there's work to be done there, and ground to cover and improvements to make, in whatever way, whether it's just a general sort of life direction or whether you've got specific goals in mind. And then there's a lunar eclipse on the 28th, which signals a fresh start with anything which lets you shine your light in your own very unique way, express yourself in your own way, and feel more fulfilled and empowered with that creativeness coming from you, coming from your creative core. And that energy lasts for about a month, so that will take you up to around about New Year's, in fact, around about 28th of December. So now Mercury puts the mental focus upon furthering your aims through useful or interesting associations, or through friends, and discussions and ideas will tend to be future orientated, progressive anyway, and you could be thinking along new and unusual lines, and you're having to be mentally quite flexible. That would be the advice anyway, because you might not be like that habitually, you know. You might be a bit set in your ways in some respects. So remember to be mentally, no matter what your age, mentally a little bit more flexible with Mercury here. And useful and unusual information could be coming your way. And definitely certain experiences could be unexpected or inspiring. Now, more group involvement is likely, and it won't be so much what you know is what you know through who you know, and contacts, new or old, should be informative. And then Mercury retrogrades into the previous house, the previous sector. Retrogrades actually between the 6th and the 26th, but on the 14th it goes into the previous sector, and that means that your mind could be more focused on the area to do with your general direction in life, and it joins the sun, in fact. So while I was just telling you about the sun position at the moment, and making arrangements, maybe having more dialogue with the powers that be, bureaucracy, parents, and authority figures, any of those. And thinking more about general direction, career matters, or maybe it's a new project, or just you know, one of your goals that you're going to be able to tick off the list. And also conversing perhaps with anybody who can facilitate your aims in a small or bigger way. Until the 22nd, Venus moves, and thereafter places and faces at a distance will have more appeal to you than usual, and personal or professional relationship could be centered around travel, and it could be you know, that you have a bond with those at a distance. It could be centered around foreign culture. A relationship could be centered around an academic, or several relationships. It doesn't just have to be one, but it tends to come up now to be highlighted. So it could be relationships centered around an academic or advice-giving type environment. Somebody you can connect with could have a field of expertise which is helpful to you and tells you things that you didn't know before. But equally, you yourself could be looked upon as the teacher or the information giver or guide. But definitely long-distance relationships will be highlighted, whether they are with somebody in a fleeting type relationship or a longer relationship. Also publications and education could also be emphasized at this time. And when I say education, I mean informal ways of education, you know, you signing up for something and sort of throwing yourself into an environment where you're having fun, you're making new friends. And from the 22nd, discussions, correspondence and ideas may be centered around short-term aims or longer-term ones, and your general direction, where you're going from here, your career, or a new enterprise. Definitely the temperature rises, or rather just gets warmer, with those who could facilitate you in some way. This can be an authority figure, a parent, a guardian, officials. And if you're on the job market, this is a very good time to come across in a really good way and do make the right impression, because it just seems to be that Venus's rays of beauty and harmony and persuasiveness, it kind of sort of swirls around you at this time, and on a wider stage, so you can project yourself very well, or you can package something very well if you're putting something out there, or yourself out there, and you will want to come, you know, want to make the good impression, and express yourself in the best way, and it's likely to be picked up by somebody in a sympathetic sort of a manner, and you can maybe get their backing. But just watch it when Venus passes over Saturn on this 27th, because then you've got to be more careful, you've got to be a little bit more restrained, and just work a bit harder there at any relationships related to a plan that you've got, or your general direction. Now, Saturn moved last month on October the 6th, and will, until 2015, in your solar chart at least, be in a more challenging angle to your sun sign. And of course you do have a natal chart as well, so the two kind of balance each other out, but the natal chart is actually more important. However, in your solar chart this is the case, and over this period, fresh directions and new foundations will emerge as you overcome the obstacles and clear the hurdles. But if you want to know more about that, have a look at my website. Until next June, Jupiter will be expanding your life through hobbies, leisure pursuits. Maybe it definitely will be favorably highlighting and helping you to learn through anything which was sort of roughly called entertainments, but also through romantic liaisons, and definitely experiences which make you feel empowered, because you feel that others appreciate you for whatever it is. You're joining in, your presence, your ability, just your contribution. So that's good, and your creativity can really blossom during this transit. Until the 17th, Mars is emphasizing a group dynamic and activities with colleagues or friends or acquaintances for professional or personal reasons are going to be highlighted. It's a very progressive period, again, more of this progressive vibe. And you can maybe start to see how you can get on with things that maybe have been on the back burner for a very long time, or you waited to do. And physical energy could be going into this. Also, physical energy could be going into group gatherings, pooling your efforts, building contacts on the net or in person. And definitely you might feel a little bit overwhelmed at times because there's quite a lot coming at you. There's quite a lot to do on behalf of others, but maybe you want to, so that's fine. And maybe there's this mad social whirl going on. And also information technology and discussion type forums, those are all sort of very, very emphasized as well. And original approaches will tend to move your life forwards during this phase. If you're listening to this in October, Mars is already going to be there. And Mars loves to initiate things and is happy taking on a leading role. So maybe in some way you've got to be the initiator, you've got to be a bit more out on front, you've got to be out in front, you've got to be the sort of the breaker of the ice, as it were. And then from the 17th, Mars enters a sort of incubating sort of area. It's much quieter, it's more introspective. Or rather inward. So because Mars is about physical action, this will be physical action going on behind the scenes, you being very busy there, or perhaps just busy there, not perhaps very busy, although some of you might be, and also having to put more physical effort into being supportive towards others, and being there for others whether you're in the mood or not, and getting on with completing or preparing something, perhaps not completing but preparing something. But definitely this is a time for you to not spread yourself too thin, because it's oh so easy to do, and it's also easy to get emotionally a little bit sort of overwrought at times with Mars here too. So just go in for relaxing, nurturing pursuits whenever you can, and let others take the strain. This transit does encourage introspective type activities, and triggers the imagination, the unconscious, the subconscious, your intuition, dream life. So watch out for those dreams. Some of them could be very helpful and give you guidance. And definitely pay attention to any omens or any intuitive hunches at this time. Good news for artistic Aquarians, because it will stir up and give you some material from your imagination. Yes, and now from the 22nd you enter again this feeling of progress, getting to do, thinking more future oriented, and being able to see how you can get to do or meet someone or do something that you've been waiting a long time to do or to get on with. And definitely group gatherings and friends could be highlighted still from the 22nd onwards. And that's it for November. If you're not on my website already, then you can go there and, if you want to, and see what Saturn effects might be having on your sign over the next couple of years, and also what the slower moving outer planets are doing, and also listen to the forecast for your moon sign or your rising sign if you know what they are, because it'll add to or subtract from what I've said here. And I will see you the next time.